I am your senior, leave the meat for me. I won't. I have been observing you anytime we are eating together, because you are a man, you always take the bigger meat. But today I won't accept that. Ayo and Tunde sat side by side on the wooden bench, a bowl of steaming goat meat stew between them. The sun hung lazily above their compound, and the aroma of spices filled the air. Tunde licked his lips, his eyes locked on the biggest piece of meat floating at the top. Just as Ayo reached for it, his hand shot out and snatched it. "Hey! That one's mine!" Ayo shouted, glaring at him. Sucking the soup off his fingers, Tunde grinned. "You always take the biggest one. This time it's mine." Ayo's eyes narrowed. "No, Tunde. I told Mama I was going to eat that piece. Give it back." Tunde clutched the meat tighter. "Too late. I got it first." Without thinking, Ayo lunged forward and grabbed the meat. Tunde pulled back. The piece of meat stretched between them like a tug-of-war rope. A splash of hot stew jumped out of the bowl, landing on the floor and on Ayo's wrapper. "You're spilling the soup," she snapped. "You started it." Tunde yelled. The stew splashed again, this time hitting the wall. Chicken scattered in alarm. A neighbor peeked over the fence. Ayo and Tunde now stood facing each other, breathing heavily, still holding on to the same piece of meat. "What's going on here?" came a deep voice from behind. It was Papa, stepping into the compound. Beside him stood Mama, wiping her hands with a kitchen cloth. Both of them looked surprised to see their children fighting over food. "He took the biggest meat," Ayo blurted. "She tried to snatch it from me," Tunde added quickly. Mama raised an eyebrow. "Over one piece of meat? He always does this," Ayo said, crossing her arms. "He waits for me to reach first, then grabs it." Papa sighed. "Is the stew not enough for both of you?" "But that meat is the biggest," Tunde insisted. Mama stepped forward and gently took the meat from their hands. "Since we can't agree with our mouths, let us settle it with fairness." She walked to the corner and returned with a small wooden scale used for measuring beans. She placed it on a stool. Ayo and Tunde watched as she carefully put the big meat on one side, then added the two smaller ones to the other. The scale tilted heavily toward the big piece. "It's bigger," Mama said calmly. Tunde looked a bit smug. Ayo opened her mouth, but Papa raised his hand. "Even if it's bigger, it caused a fight. And what do we do with things that cause fights in this house?" "We share them," both children mumbled. Papa nodded and brought out a small knife. With care, he sliced the meat into two equal halves. He handed one half to Ayo, the other to Tunde. Then, without a word, he dropped the bone back into the bowl. Mama smiled. "The bone is for everyone. That's where the real taste is." Ayo and Tunde looked at each other, then at the stew. They sat back down, this time a little closer. Ayo gave a small laugh. "It was just meat." Tunde grinned. "But it was big meat." They burst into giggles, and their parents joined them. The family gathered around the bowl again, eating slowly, peacefully. In the distance, the village sounds returned, birds chirping, goats bleating, the breeze rustling the mango leaves above them. And just like that, the fight faded, leaving only laughter and the warm taste of a lesson shared. If this has ever happened to you or your kids, kindly indicate in the comment section.